All right, so today we are talking about something I think we've all felt. We're breaking down a super practical guide on how to pull yourself out of a slump. You know that feeling when you're just stuck, you've lost all your momentum, and you just can't figure out how to get started again? Well, this one's for you.
So, just picture this for a second. Think back to a time when you were absolutely killing it. You were in the zone, right? Reading, working out, hitting all your deadlines. You were just firing on all cylinders, feeling totally on top of your game.
And then, poof, it's gone. The switch just flips. It's like, out of nowhere, that drive completely disappears. Every little task starts to feel like you're trying to climb a mountain, and all that motivation you had, it's just vanished. So how in the world does this happen? Let's dive into how that one initial dip in motivation can kick off this negative chain reaction that can be so incredibly hard to stop.
It always starts small, doesn't it? You skip the gym one day. You tell yourself, it's no big deal. But then that one day turns into two. And before you know it, a whole week has gone by. And that feeling starts to bleed into other parts of your life. Maybe you start eating more junk food, you're watching way more TV. And here's the really scary part. You don't even want to do the things you know are good for you anymore.
And that right there, that's the core of the problem, isn't it? What's the very first step you can possibly take when you have zero motivation? I mean, how do you light a fire when you feel like there's no kindling left at all?
Okay, let's get into our first big strategy here. And honestly, this one is a total game changer. It's going to completely flip the way you think about getting motivated on its head.
So most of us, we think it works like this. We believe we have to wait for some big spark of inspiration, right? We watch a video, read a book, have a great idea, and then we'll feel motivated, and then we'll finally take action. We're basically waiting to feel like it.
But here's the big insight. It's not a one-way street. It's a loop, an endless cycle. And that means action isn't just the end result of motivation, it can actually be the cause of it. You can jump into this loop at any point.
And this brings us to the do something principle. It's simple. Action creates motivation. Instead of waiting to feel good to do something, you just do something, anything, to start feeling good. The action itself becomes the spark you are waiting for.
And you don't have to start big. Seriously, think about it. You don't need some grand epiphany to go brush your teeth or take a shower, right? These are small, almost mindless, but still constructive actions. Use them. Just open that Word document for 60 seconds. That tiny, tiny action can be just enough to get the ball rolling. But taking that first small action, well, it's not just about moving your body. It's actually this really delicate psychological negotiation that you have to win with yourself.
Now, to win this negotiation, you got to know who's at the table. On one side, you've got your logical brain. That's the planner. It knows exactly what you should be doing for your future self. But on the other side, you've got your primal brain. That's the feeler. And it only cares about one thing: what feels good or bad right here, right now.
And here is where so many of us go wrong. Our logical brain tries to act like a drill sergeant, just yelling at our primal brain, trying to force it to get to work. But that totally backfires. The primal brain just rebels. It digs its heels in and refuses to do anything, which just makes it even harder to get started.
So the key here is to switch your approach. You got to go from being a dictator to being a diplomat. It's all about gentle negotiation. Acknowledge the small wins. If you manage to do the dishes, reward yourself with a little break. You're building trust and slowly getting both sides of your brain to work together as a team. Okay, so let's pull all of this together. How do we turn these ideas into a real, sustainable, long-term plan for getting and, more importantly, staying out of a rut? We can actually borrow a concept from weightlifting called progressive overload, and it's perfect for this. The idea is, instead of going from 0 to 100 and completely burning yourself out, you just make small, consistent, manageable increases in effort over time. You gently massage yourself back into a productive groove.
So what does this actually look like? Well, on day one, your only goal is to do one small, constructive thing. That's it. And then you let yourself feel good about it. On day two, you remind yourself, hey, yesterday felt pretty good, and you try to do just a tiny bit more. You see how this works? Over a week, you gradually and organically rebuild those productive habits without ever feeling overwhelmed.
And the ultimate goal with this whole patient approach is to find that synergy. It's about getting your logical, planning brain and your emotional, feeling brain to finally get on the same page and agree on the path forward. That alignment, that is the absolute foundation for reliable, sustainable success.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one question to get your own do something principle started. Forget about tomorrow. Forget about next week. What is one small, almost laughably easy, constructive thing you can do the moment this explainer ends? Whatever it is, that's your first step. Go do it.